Welcome back. Let's see what Ludin wants. The prince is acting even more standoffish than usual. You and Ivor have caught him staring ahead and twisting the ring, his finger over and over. Yrsa quietly stands nearby. Glad to be headed home? Ludin turns to the two of you and offers a polite smile. Even after that chasm, would it surprise you if I said no? I thought you hated being so far from Arbrang. Life on the trail hasn't won me over, but it's not all bad. It's even possible I learned a few things about leading people while out there. Here, you and Ivor and Yrsa are stunned to hear the prince talk this way. Growing up in comfort and trained with scholars and fighters, I've never known anything else. Saying stuff like that won't make you any new friends in this caravan. But that's just it. Among these clansmen, I've seen the difference. I think I understand them a bit more. What do you plan to do with this understanding? If we make it to Arbrang without being slaughtered by Dredge? When we make it. I'll talk to the king about my ideas for sharing information. Advisors learning from craftsmen learning from advisors. I've never seen the prince this animated, but then his face falls. I just don't think the king will appreciate my knowledge. Yrsa will agree, my father's not what you call open-minded. The king's a hard man, has to be, but his son is his weakness. Can you tell me about the king? I suppose, but there's not much to him. He's a king. He draws a hard line on nearly every topic. Talking to him is much like being told what to do. In fact, it's exactly that. Well, that's said about that about me. This is about being his son. You'll see. Kings usually have to make tough decisions and stick with them. Maybe someday you'll see why. I know, I just don't think he'll care for my ideas on treating with peasant commoners. What would you like to be called? We're all people, Prince, even you. Perhaps you're right. Just keep an open mind about your father and the way you liked him to have towards your ideas. That's something I've never considered before. I'll think on it. What? Do you believe half the nonsense you say? I think I sounded really wise just then. It sounded like you've been practicing it for a while. That's fair. I'll work on it. Do I believe in it? A metal clanking is heard in the distance and grows louder. You see a Yox cart surrounded by 4 Varl and an older woman hitting a ladle against the pan. All sorts of things for sale, she says, but her eyes go wide when she looks at you. It's you. Special deals when it comes to you. How do you know me? Word travels fast. Think you can slay asunder and keep it secret? She clicks her tongue and shakes her head. Madir knows of you, sure enough. Why are you out here selling things? Madir sells things to those traveling. It's what she does. Used to be as generous as SLA. Madir was, but that don't buy more supplies. Easy boy, a clansman shouts as a Yox cart nearly topples to one side. The damped path of Eastway Road has steadily turned a cracked shamble. Looking ahead, it only gets worse. Various chasms gape like open mouths. Glance back to Iwant, who looks at you and shakes his head. The entire caravan comes to a halt. We'll be eating our belts before finding a way across this broken road, especially with this many. There's no telling how far we'd have to backtrack to head north. Then we'll head south across the Ormsa River head. We can head south towards Grundar and on west. Trygve peers around Hakon's elbow before coming fully into view. Why do you say that? Maybe I spent a lot of time there. Plenty of things to eat under logs, but there's also people in the bogs. His eyes go eyes. The sculpture hear my rhyme. But what's wrong with heading south? Different ways of living. Old ways stick to the mud, and cragsmen are less bothersome. I think he's talking about the beggars, the rough, backward people of Schwarzbog. Trinkvi frowns at Ivor. Words like that can find you swollen, filled with poison. He puffs out his cheeks and stares at Ivor's. This is why viral tend to keep themselves. Each human is crazy in their own way. Oh boy. Strange, but it's fair warning. We're crossing over into lands most of us have never been seen. Just because we left those dredge behind doesn't mean we won't have more wars ahead of us. If we had more supplies, I say we should stop for a few days and train some of these clansmen to fight. You consider your options. We need to keep the few remaining clansmen moving. Yeah, he waits for Hakon to walk away before saying anything. It's your responsibility to keep these people alive. Sure, and if I want to train them, I would. I only have 82. Why are you all out here? You can join us if you like. Once you cross the Ormsa riverbed, wind ceases to cut through the humid air. The darkening sky lets loose its rain, and soon fat drops of water turn into... Okay. We are slow. I was hoping to avoid visiting this part of the kingdom for at least a few more years, Prince Ludin says. At least others have the sense to abandon this cesspool. As there has been busy sound, he's right. There are very few signs of life around you, and yet you still feel like you're being watched. The lulling of the usually quiet ox indicates the beast difficulty pulling the carts. You're up to your knees in it when a scout comes to you. Found some stone markers, that led us to a few paths of solid ground over there. He points while shooting over the ox. Shouting over the axe, uneven and bumpy, but easier than this. Stone markers? Yeah, the man says. Don't look natural. Don't look like much of anything else either. Just some stones marking a path for this place is all I can figure. Lead the way. We're walking. Alright. I'll avoid it.
Baldringer's flame welcomes endless war. But why?
Even out the petrified flamesword of our Varl. This is where the humans made their stand against the Varl. Placed upside down in the ground, the petrified roots of a giant tree reach towards the sky. All the Varl, including Ivor and Hakon, have separated from the caravan temporarily, giving Baldring, Costin, a wide berth. The giant's presence is missed as you continue to feel watched. Hello, what do you know about Baldring? These flames symbolize Baldring's love of fire and war, the first being a means to the second. When the Varl were dominating the humans in the first great conflict, it was Baldring who gave the losing side fire to combat the giants. You may hold up your hand to halt the storyteller. Grab some fighters. I won't win this. Not like this. I need to consider my options. Without the Varl, this is difficult. Maybe that was worth it. Maybe I just wasted my time. I guess we got the item, right? The rain finally ceases, but the wind picks up. You squint into the gusts and have a clear view of the vast plains ahead. There doesn't seem to be much out there. Wonder and concern in equal measure.
Grund almost looks forgotten by the rest of the world. Maybe those who live here have forgotten the rest of us too.
In a field just outside Grunder, the caravan spots several creatures you assumed were myth. I don't believe it. Are those? Two Horseborn hold simple bronze weapons and stand guard over a few others who look wounded, unable to rise. The size of the caravan makes them nervous. I have to get a closer look. Me too. Brandishes. Go tell the archers to put down their bows. Amruk, what's wrong with your friends? You help? Yes, help. I'll try. This is only a first. With Tywin and Juno tending to the wounded Droic and other horseborn, the caravan settles down outside the scant town of Grunder. It appears the town is enjoying a small festival. Alright. Thank Gaunt's at Ubin, who snorts and smiles. Thank you for helping his friend Roic. We are welcome. I'd like to meet you to meet Hakon. Sam heard. No, but we're no longer enemies. I haven't seen Horseborn in centuries. Last they knew, humans and Varl would tear at each other's throats. What brings you so far north? Our planes break. Might be justice. They didn't kill all the horses, Scrivener. His ancestors did, yes, but blame false source things that happened hundreds of years before they were alive. You may as well accuse these humans around us of starting the Great Wars. What happened to Roic? So that's why there are no horses in this universe? Brave fighter, protect food. Hit, who was attacked? Just stares at you. Have you found the food you are seeking? The blonde axeman, one of two twins from a small village in East Corridor, is chopping into a fallen tree for no apparent reason. Mogan? He glared at you. Where's your brother, Mogan? He left with the ravens, wondering if I should have done the same. Why is that? Been following your lead for a long time. For what? My brother's gone. My wife and children are frightened of everything around, including me. I tell them this constant fighting is only for a time, but it's changing me. I see it in their eyes. It's my own reflection. But I was doing it to protect them. But if they think I'm a monster, what's the point? They'll appreciate what you are doing someday. I don't know. My wife said she needs a man who will hold her more than his axe. I think she might leave me. I'm not sure where. Yeah. Just tell me this caravan would fall apart with me fighting in the shell wall, then I'll... Encouraging to keep fighting. We need to keep everyone safe. Not just your family, but all families. Make things right with your wife and kids and our brand. Yeah. Now that Roic had the chance to heal, 2 of the horseborn are heading south to deliver some supplies for their people. What crazy ideas in your head, Scrivener? With the world falling apart around us, there may not be another chance to trek down south. Listen to yourself, the world is breaking. But Varl, as old as one as me, has more important goals than just staying alive. What about that competition you, Varl, have for who lives the longest? I've always understood the rules to mean you are actually doing something, not holding up some more self. Besides, my guess is Snorri didn't make it out of Groheim when under attack. I might already be the winner. Then it doesn't sound like I can change your mind. There's not a rock in the land as hard-headed as me, so don't waste your breath. You're thinking your hind. No, I'd feel better if Gunnulf stayed with all of you. That blade of his is sure to attract the wrong kind of attention. Will protect you. I'm old, not an idiot. I've learned a few tricks to keep my head on my shoulders. Then be safe, Ubin, and join us again if you can. You know where we're going. Don't worry about me, just make sure you're alive to see this ring through to Arbrang. Farewell. The governor catches up to you and asks for a moment of your time. His bodyguard is beside him, silent. There is something to be said for you getting us across that chasm and through this bog. Is that a compliment? You just haven't gotten as many people killed as I expected. You give the governor a half smile. You'll still fail, and I'll be there to push your face in the dung. Is there something you wanted? I want to see these people safely to Arbrang. Get us across these barren plains, and I might be impressed. Doesn't like the horsemen. How far are we from Arbrang anyway? I have no idea where we are actually. Well, still a ways to go. Anyway, Costin, signing out. We made it through the bog.